American Blondes, we can't forget that. Very important because a lot of his come up, he moved up from there really. But like we still had Hip Hop Canada, and to this day, like Hip Hop Canada is still a strong supporter. But I think a lot of Montreal artists don't even bother submitting their music. Hip Hop Canada is a
Well, I mean,
strong force
I
of
don't think
consistent support.
anybody submits music, honestly.
Well, that's their failure. That's the biggest mistake you can make. Like I have friends, artists, not gonna name names to put them on blast, but they're like, "Yo, why am I not on this site? Why don't they ever post my shit?" And the one question I always ask is, "Hey, did you send them your
Well,
music?"
sometimes, to be fair, I know of one instance, and again, will go unnamed, but they did send their project in, and the person came back with yeah, I like your project, but I don't think I can cover it. So instead, I'm going to cover what I feel is more brand friendly. And there is that side of it. As a music reviewer
But
person,
that's editorial. But that's an editorial decision. You got to
but the
kind of like,
problem
I can't.
is that a lot more of these places have taken on such editorial decisions with greater frequency due to the nature of shit. Like, I used to have people hit me up and be like, and these were the only ones I would interact with, because I mean, I didn't get a shit ton, but I probably got about 100. Can you review my albums? I got one the other day, so it's on my mind. But somebody hit me up and was like, flat out, can you review my album? You're like one of the only platforms that even talks about like issues. I'm like, wait, say a word. Because a lot of these people are like maybe talking about real shit. And then you don't want to go on the platform that isn't going to be willing to talk about some of the context behind those bars. And unfortunately, there's not a lot of people I feel that really go that deep with it unless they're like super major publications.
But let me tell you, there's like 70% of Montreal rappers that have there's a lot of ego, man. And you know, I've had it, I've been there. I occasionally we all suffer from bouts of ego. It happens as humble as we try and may be. But the reality of things is a lot of them think like, hey, when I post this video on my Facebook, everybody that's on my Facebook should be posting it. There's a and so I know because I'm having worked with different people who've had blogs and being involved in how music was released in that sense, there's a lot of entitlement there that is undeserved. I can put out a new song tomorrow. It's not going to be on DMS unless I send it to him. Feezy knows me. Like, we cool. But if I don't send it, like, I can't expect the medias to pick it up. Like,
But
a lot of
even to
Montreal
that end,
rappers
like
believe they're celebrities
the
before they're ever
nature,
celebrities.
but the nature of this game is like evolved, right? Like I'm gonna go like real corporate with it in the world of software. Those tech websites, which is effectively the same thing. You're a software company. Those tech websites, the same shit. They hit
Mm-hmm.
you up with this is how much it costs packages, cause yo, this shit's not free no more. You want it to be free? You better be dropping some shit that's so noteworthy that like it actually is gonna get somebody organic clicks to click on it. Otherwise,
But you kind of have no choice to kind of like that was always my call. My fallback to that was always that I didn't have the budget, so I couldn't do the payola. I couldn't even if I would have wanted to.
well, I guess sorry. What I'm going is if you're the website, if you're the reviewer, you could afford to do shit for free back in the day because of how ads work. That's dead. You basically can afford to charge people, or it's not really affordable. Like there is no platform.
Of course. See, listen to this. Like,
But
so if somebody wants to charge you for an interview, let's say, or promotion, right? You got to look at what the promotion package is. I'll never pay somebody for just a post, but if there's a proper package involved, like it's a full court press, then I can sit down and listen to a price because I understand the work involved. Like that's where it's tricky. But not all the websites should have the right to charge. I mean, your viewership, if your viewership outweighs that of the artist and your services to keep that on that level require you to charge, then the package that for that price better be worth it, regardless of
well,
who's the
value.
site.
So this is where value comes in. I would argue
Yeah,
that there may come a time where I go, nah, this exact interview, regardless of my viewership, has a cost because if you're smart, you can flip this interview. And I would say, or like an album review. I don't get fucking views on my album review. But to be fair, those same, like if I reviewed local people, right? Nobody would click on the review because nobody's clicking on the song. So why would they click on the review? like there's a bit. So it's almost like, you know, like there's a bit of a, who the fuck cares about my 90-minute, 48-minute video review of your project? That's almost longer than your project. I mean, now,
Well, I would say the artist though, you have to think about what your rollout is. Like, it's not doing the interview with every single person. It's figuring out places where you're not doing product placement, but you're going there and you're appealing to people that relate to you on those platforms. That's going to make the people connect. If you're going to do proper promotion, you might as well do it that way. But some people just want, remember that we're in a clout based universe. Clout is almost credit at this point. So people are fucking desperate to be on the website that'll get them the most views. They don't care how they get there, number one. But number two, at the end of the day, is that site promoting what you're trying to do? Or is it just letting you be a character chasing clout? Because, yo, an
so I
interviewer
appreciate
can
what
put
you're
you on that
saying,
shit and have
because
you
yo,
run that.
so the other hand of the coin, I feel like what I do provides a value. You may agree with it or not. Also, I'm not charging
I do,
anyone yet, but maybe you agree with it, maybe you don't. I'm saying it for the general.
but I do.
However, there was this other person who will go unnamed, because I'm in a group that will go unnamed, and I get tagged in it. So I was literally about to hit man's up and go interview for interview, because he does text interviews, and then he didn't even say shit. He just gave me a price, sent a link. It's a text interview, so he just sends me the same fucking questions he asks everybody else. I'm supposed to do all the work here, write the answers, and then pay him to be on his site. And so what he doesn't know is I have access to search engine tools through work. The guy's organic reach is under, like, it was like under 100. It was like really small. I don't want to say it was like under 10, but it was definitely under 100. So if less than 100 people are clicking on your fucking website, I mean, what is the actual value of that? That's me writing some shit down to share so I can feel good. To me, I might have even done it if we had, like, he let me interview him or something. But nah, I just got so annoyed by that whole situation. I don't know why. Sometimes I'll get something and I'll feel like away. But when I looked into it, I'm like, and then it's just so
You're
many.
human.
But there's so many people I know who paid the guy, and they don't actually. Like, to me, maybe it's because I do this, and sometimes you look at a version of what you do. Maybe it's old head shit, but it just feels like, yo, that's some cheap and dirty like shit. Where honestly, that guy makes money, and those artists don't really get a plot. Like, it's not a platform, it's just some shit to share to their people, and then I know nobody's clicking on it because I checked the fucking stats on his page, which you can do. So it was wild to me just to think about how much money this guy made off of offerings. And then it's like, what am I doing with my life? And don't get me wrong, I like what I'm doing with my life, and I don't want to even knock this man's hustle per se, but wildly low value, not even worth $10.
You see, that goes to something. So check this out, right? So when my short time interning for Trilateral Entertainment, my sole job basically was to find all the American blogs and websites that were popping, and then submit Bad News Brown's music to it. So it was Excel sheets all day, learning who was the contact at that website, like building the relationship. It's the reason I was able to progress later with these same tools that I worked on, creating value, building bridges, knowing who to talk to at a website. Like, basically what I did was I figured out where was everybody going to check their music. So at that time, New Music Cartel was like 6 blogs. Was Not Right, You Heard That New, Tudo Boys, On Smash. I forget the two others, but so like a conglomerate of blogs that work together. They covered every new release. So if that's where people are gonna go, let's say to Not Right to see Nas's new joint, that might be where you want to be. That was the mentality. That was what built that. Because at the end of the day, why wouldn't I want my music to be at the place where everybody wakes up in the morning and hits their favorite links?